And welcome to Let's Fly VFR. Today we're going to do a few laps around beautiful Cairo in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Subscribe, like, and come visit letsflyvfr.com if you're looking for any information, help, and need any toys for your sim. So here we are in Cairo International Airport, and we're going to fly, well, essentially we're going to head off straight out at runway heading just for a moment. Once we get a bit of altitude, turn right, and then we'll be able to see the beautiful pyramids and the Sphinx just a little ways across the other side of town. So what we're planning to do today is two parts. So the first part of it is going to be just getting up. Now we're running this at Ultra as I take off and we get into the air. We'll have a quick look around as we get into the air and get a bit of a feel for it. I'm still very much getting a feel for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It feels a little foreign after being on X-Plane for quite a while, mainly just because finding keys and finding commands and things like that. But it is getting better and I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with it. Looking forward to VR coming out apparently on the 23rd of December 2020, so we'll be very much looking for that. And so what we're going to do is I just want to have a look with you guys. So if you're thinking of, well, what's it going to look like on a particular system, you can compare at least to mine, because my system is quite in the medium area, I would suggest, and I would think a lot of people would have systems around mine. And if you're thinking of getting into flight simulation and into Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane or DCS, then you're going to find just a bit of a, let's say, a starting point to get there. So my system is a Ryzen 2600, so it's not the fastest of processors. Very much looking forward to getting one of the new 5600Xs, I think is probably about my price point, along with 32 gig of 3200 megahertz RAM, and also, as we fly around a bit here, I've got a 2060 Super 8GB card, and all of that is running at stock speed. So just have a look at the way the scenery looks as we go around here. Now I've had to fly this manually, but as you can see we have low on the top left, medium below it, up on the top right we have high and ultra, and we're just going to do a quick lap here so you can have a bit of a look. If you want, slow down, wind it back to the beginning, and to be honest, I would like to have synced this a little bit better, but it is hard to do when you just fly manually. So I just did this, and each time I finished the circuit, and as I come around and pointed towards the pyramids and the Sphinx over there, which is just about to come into view on the top left of most of these views, one's lagging a little bit, you get a bit of a chance at least to compare the differences between what you get at each level. Now I had a range of frame rates. Generally, I think my best frame rates while I was zipping around with Ultra was about 33, and that's still pretty flyable in 2D, but it won't be when it comes time for VR. And we've just had a bit of a performance update. High I was getting around about 33, and medium 43, so a big jump between high and medium, and low I had up to 48 FPS, just on the basic presets, guys. So that just give you a bit of an idea. Now one of the biggest things I noticed was firstly with the water down at low and medium, you start to lose the water detail. Reflections become very not very crisp, I would say. But to be honest, if you have to run this flight simulator at low, I would suggest you just need to get a little bit more horsepower to make it more reasonable. As you look out there at the moment, you can see that there are some high buildings, but everything else is very flat. And as we get a little bit close to it, if you just watch, you'll see it grow. So just watch that as we're going around. If you want, again, wind back and have a look. Now let's have a look at the speeds. Again, low we had 48 FPS as we go around, and again, just watch it. You can see just in the distance the buildings will grow. It's like the very, very short draw distance. Medium is pretty good, so I reckon most people, if you had to fly in medium, you would be very comfortable with it. High, yes, you're going to feel a lot better. There's a lot better detail, and ultra. But for me, looking at it overall, I tell you, I went backwards and forwards over this a number of times on a 1080p TV and watched it. And honestly, between medium and ultra, you have to look pretty close probably to really get the finer differences between them. So if you had to fly on medium and 43 FPS was a little bit more your level, and you were happy with that, then I think, medium is still going to be a very good level for most players. The biggest test, another big test of this would be to fly with a bit more cloud, and that's something we might do down the road. But certainly VR is what I'm excited about, and looking forward to having a go at that again very soon. So we're coming back over the water here. I keep looking at the low one as we come around. You can see the border of the water there isn't as crisp. It's not as defined. If you look down to the low as we come around, you can see reflections of the buildings in there. The edges are a little bit crisper. As you look down, if you look over to Ultra, you can see the building down there. That's solid. You can just see an amazing reflection of that. And high is pretty good as well. Just as we come over the top there, you can see the pyramids over the other side. So as we come around, we'll just do a quick run around the pyramids and have a bit of a look. They're pretty amazing looking. I was fortunate enough to get there in the late 90s. I got to go there. I was having a bit of a holiday, and we took the boat over from Cyprus. It was an overnight over, a big day trip. We got to come and have a walk around all of these and around the Sphinx. And you can see the tour buses down there now. We could have been on one of those. And then back to Port El Said and back to sunny Cyprus on the boat. That was a really nice trip. So I hope that was helpful for you. It gives you an opportunity to compare. As you can see, as we're coming in and we're back in Ultra, I'm getting 35 FPS at the moment. If you're on a big screen, you'll be able to see the CPU utilization and the GPU utilization. We're getting 96% on the GPU and 34% on the CPU as we come in towards the airport. And I've got to say, I was surprised that actually drops as you go down. As we go back towards low, the CPU and the GPU utilization was dropping probably much in parallel as we went down. So it'd be nice to see some more optimization here, and I think a better CPU is probably going to help with the frame rates as well. So again, we had low was about 48, medium was 43, high was around about 33, so again, big jump there, and ultra didn't change that much, up at 33 frames per second as well, guys. So I hope that little jaunt around what is an amazing place in Cairo, as we come back to Cairo International, was helpful for you to have a quick look. If you like, go back, look over it again. It is very hard to see a lot of the differences. Again, I'd say low is the one where you see it, because you see those buildings grow as you get close to them, and that's about the biggest difference between all of it. So very interesting, I thought. And again, if I have to end up at medium in VR and still get enough frame rate to make that worthwhile, I think I would still be quite happy with that at the moment. So until next time, subscribe, like, come visit Let's Fly VFR. Great having you along. Comment, let me know what you think and what frame rate you're getting on Flight Simulator 2020. See you then. Bye.